What's good, YouTube? On the way to the crib, man. So, shout out to Chicago Sky Central. You know what I mean, for breaking the news. Shout out to my man Showtime with the On Point. You know, Showtime basketball on point. Shout out to all the the real ones. Welcome to HD 2I, as well as Simply Ball Dropping. Shout out to the brother. News break in terms of Chicago Sky news. We got Michaela Onyenware in the starting lineup officially. Teresa Witherspoon had announced that. That's good to hear. That's what I wanted to see. I couldn't imagine her going any other way, honestly, when you look at the way, the remaining players have played. I'm interested in seeing how these new players who have come over from Phoenix play as well. I'm hearing one of them, Bantam, I believe, or is it the other one? Maybe injected, with some of the starters and possibly in the starting lineup at some point before the season is out. I don't know. It's interesting to see about that seventh spot and that eighth spot. Them in the Fever. Both teams should absolutely be ready. I was scouring some of the Fever, websites or channels, not websites, channels, and looks like Kathy Sides did something very clever. Looks like the Fever, she had the Fever training against some men, to prepare them for physicality. Had the men be real physical with them and so on to kind of prepare them for the rest of the year, and I think that was clever. So it looks like the Indiana Fever may come out, prepared to go. Listening to some of Caitlin Clark's interviews, she was making it sound like, she's really feeling good, feels like she got her shot back, which is, good for her, good for them. She makes it sound like, hey, they ready to go. This is some of the best training they've gotten, since she's been there. So, hey, Fever coming out striking. So, now Chicago, it's on them to see what they do. Now, pretty much all season, I felt like the Indiana Fever had the overall better roster than the Chicago Sky. However, I'm interested to see how it goes with with the departure of Mabry and the interjection of Michaela into that lineup, because when I think about it, you really, really think about it. You got the front court. You got Indiana's front court of Nalissa Smith and Camila Cardoso against. Nalissa Smith, I'm tripping, and Aaliyah Boston, right, on the Fever, matching up with the front court of Camila Cardoso and Angel Reese. And I typically give the slight edge to the Fever because you're talking about Aaliyah Boston is in her second year. You're talking about Rookie of the Year, two-time All-Star. To go along with Nalissa Smith, who's been in the league for a few years, you know what I mean, who can play. Nalissa can play. I know there's been like a little ups and downs between her and the coach, and even possibly with, some of the teammates and all of that kind of stuff. I know she leaves much to be desired on defense, but the girl can ball, at the end of the day. So I give them the slight edge, even though you never know what can happen if Angel Reese gets it going, if she can step it up another gear, because she may benefit from the rest just like Caitlin can. Same thing with Camila. Camila finally probably will be the healthiest she's been all year. So very interesting to see, how all that stuff goes, man, how she's going to look. So I'm just parking, y'all. So, it's kind of slowing me down a little bit, but we good. So I'm interested to seeing how that goes. And then when you compare the rest of the roster of these two teams, you got the backcourts of Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlin Clark, which is really, you know, one could argue one of the top backcourts in the league. You know, you let CC fans tell it. They must think it's the best backcourt in the league because they already saying that CC's the best point guard in the league. Many of them, you know, are really that crazy. So, but you got to think about it. You got Caitlin Clark giving you 17 points a night. You got Kelsey Mitchell giving you damn near 17 a night. I know 16 plus last time I checked. So you're talking about a pretty prolific backcourt. You know, you got the league leader in assists right now in Caitlin, and you got you know, just an all-out, flat-out scorer, and Kelsey Mitchell, 2 All-Stars. You know, this season. So that's a heck of a backcourt. Versus the Chicago Sky's backcourt. Kennedy Carter, who I believe is like, you know, you talking about scoring the ball, one of the best scoring guards in the league. I mean, I think she's averaging what? Since she's been in the starting lineup, I think she's averaging up to closer to 21 points a game. Something like that. That's got to be, you know, up there. You know? So, that's a good matchup. Now, the point guard is where Chicago kind of falls short to Indiana previously, because, you know, we talking about Lindsey Allen, who's a decent point guard. I actually like Lindsey Allen, to be honest with you. She's a real, you know, solid point guard, man, who doesn't make a lot of mistakes. Not a real prolific scorer, you know, a solid defensive player and all of that. She's fine for me as a point guard, to be honest with you. But, you know, comparing her to Caitlin Clark, you know, people would give Caitlin Clark the advantage. Though I think Lindsey's probably a better defensive player than Caitlin. You know, Caitlin's just Caitlin, so, right, you give her the advantage. Generally, she's more dynamic, you know, that sort of thing. Better scorer. Then when you go over to, but this is the key now. You go over to that small forward position. This is where the Indiana Fever, I think, are at their weakest. You know, they got either Lexi Hall, they're going to go out there, maybe Samuelson they go out there with, maybe, I don't know, but I believe this is where they're at their weakness, at their weakest. Now, the Chicago Sky previously had Marina Mabrey, which is no chopped liver. You know, she's a solid, really good player, you know, who can give you 14, 15 points a night. That's, you know, that doesn't grow on trees. But now you throw in Michaela Onyenware, who I truly believe in my heart of hearts, just on my eye test, has the potential to be a better player than Marina Mabrey. You know, I might be going out on a limb, you know, believing that, but I think it's very possible, man. She could be an upgrade. You know, you're talking about both sides of the floor. I've watched her. I believe she can play defense well. Also, she can score. She can hit that outside shot. Though it's in limited shooting, she's at about 40% from 3 right now. You know, and then if you add some of the point guard play from some of the point guard depth that they just picked up from Connecticut, man, I don't know. I think they may have closed the gap a little bit on Indiana talent-wise. You know, we'll see. A lot of it is predicated on how far along Camilla has come. Angel, all she really got to do is keep doing what she's doing, to be honest with you. Michaela, and then what type of sets they run and so forth. I'm really looking forward to seeing how that looks, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. So Thursday night, we got the first game against the Phoenix Mercury. And the way I'm seeing it, man, this is the best chance to catch the Mercury. You know, they're just coming. They have 3 of their starters, you know, coming off of the Olympics, coming from Paris on that high and so on. And they just haven't had a chance to rest like the Chicago Sky has. And haven't had a chance to run a lot of plays with their team. I'm sure they're probably trying to do as much as they can now. But, you know, it just isn't the same. You know, there's a lot of time that they lost Of course, the other players got a chance to run things and so on. And I think it's in Chicago. This is an opportunity, man. If Chicago just jumps on them, to win that. As far as the Fever go, I think the Phoenix might be the Fever's next game as well, which is kind of crazy. On a back-to-back, if I'm not mistaken, I gotta check. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. But I heard Kathy's side speaking a lot, Christy's side speaking a lot about playing the Fever. I mean, playing the Mercury. I am just horrible right now with these names. So yeah, I'm interested to see how all that is, man. Real rap. So, yeah, man. Tell me what y'all think about all of that. I'm considering going live a little later, man. But right now, we gotta start getting this dinner rolling. Tonight we're doing some chicken sandwich, some sliders. But y'all don't understand, these sliders is different. We use the hot chicken recipe. So you take the red hot chili, you make that part of the batter that before you put it in that in the fried batter to get it all crispy with the hot, and then do some lettuce, tomato on it, throw a little pickle on that joint. Come on, man. With the soft buns, the soft sourdough joints, the potato buns, bro. And then we were going to do some curly fries. Y'all don't understand, man. But I'll let y'all know about that later. So after I wolf those down, and I might consider going live. But let me know what y'all think about Chicago Sky, man. And are we going to take this first game against Phoenix or no? Peace out.